Hey everybody, good evening. I'm really excited for tonight's call. We got some good information for you. Lots of announcements because we had a huge December. I don't know if you heard. There's a setting where I can mute people as they come in. Unfortunately, it wouldn't let me choose that right now. Hopefully I'll figure that out for next time. But if you guys are all seeing my text messages, if you maybe in the chat, we can just ask that people, where's chat? There it is. Just mute as you come in. Mainly because I get feedback. So, all right, I hope you all are doing really well. We, like I said, had a great December. You guys were working it like crazy and did amazing things. So I wanted to go ahead and acknowledge those people who have who had some really amazing successes. We had some great rank advancements. We had some huge volume. Everybody seemed to really take advantage of the offer, the we want you back specials that doTERRA let us offer our people. So we reconnected a lot with older customers, and I think that's huge. And making those reconnections, it's really just a good time for that because so much with doTERRA has improved. You know, some of the compliance stuff has lightened up, and anyway, so it's just, I think, been a really good time to connect with people and feel that momentum building back up, for people to feel, you know, okay, this is where I want to be. People are just ready again. So anyway, I'm going to start with the new executives and up, because the list is a little bit long. If I went all the way down, we might be here all night. So congratulations to everyone who hit director and manager last month. That's a huge stepping stone, and it shouldn't be underrated. I'm really excited for all of you starting out your journey or just picking up your journey, or whatever the case may be. So congratulations. Now executives, we had several, let's see, about 10 or 11 of them. We have Barbara Rutherford, Pam Lusk, Kerlin Phillips, Tabitha Eaton, Jody Wood, Vanessa Lee, Marie Fowler, Josh Church, Jonathan Blaylock, and Andrea Smith. Or Andrea Smith, however you say that. Anyway, everybody, I'm really excited about that. Congratulations. Executive rank means $2,000 in OV, and it's a huge accomplishment to get that. You know, it means you have a growing team underneath you, and that's really exciting. That's more than just having enrolled a couple of people. That usually is, you know, 5, 10, maybe people. So very, very cool that you're making that impact on your community and with your friends and family. Okay, Elite is next up. Elite is a very exciting rank. Once you hit Elite, you're qualified to go to things like our Elite retreats. And it's really a foundational rank for us. When you think about the bigger ranks, really you can break them all down by Elite. So if you're talking about Diamond, that's somebody who has underneath them, you know, if they're all positioned just the right way, at some place they have 12 different elites. And just to hit platinum, that's 9 elites. To hit silver, that's 3 elites. So it's a really cool way to just kind of break it down. If you've hit elite, now what you have to do is just replicate that or duplicate that with your downline and help them do the same thing. So I like Elite. It's a good visualization of the backbone of our business. So we had a bunch of those in December. Kanette Yates hit Elite. Awesome work. Aaliyah Johnson, Tammy Compton, Miranda Myers, Sarah Lee, Matthew Wagner, Desiree Schaefer, Donna Boone, Karen Lilly. Awesome work, guys. That's really exciting. A lot of you hit that even early on in the month. It wasn't like you waited until the last minute. A lot of you hit that earlier on, and probably will solidly be Elite moving forward. So really good job, guys. It's very, very exciting. And then we had 3 new premieres. That's huge and awesome. Premier is when you start needing qualified legs, so 2 executives underneath you. And we had 2, Kim Petrides, Christian Benway, and Justin Blakely. 3 new premieres. Awesome work, guys. That's very exciting. And then we had 1 new silver. Hurrah! Robin Langdon, awesome work. And Suzanne Blaylock hit gold, which is huge. She's been working hard and she totally deserves it. And I'm very excited for her and her team. And for everybody that made these goals with last month and they hit them, and really just spent the month sharing and loving on people with the oil. So that's amazing. And I'm thrilled to have any part in it at all whatsoever, even if it just seems like I announce names and that's all. Anyway, okay, so one more thing I wanted to talk about. The enrollments were huge last month. You guys did a great job with that. Let me pull up the numbers really quick. Just so I can compare for you. So last year, our team was still booming, and we had 135 enrollments. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm looking at the wrong thing. Never mind, ignore that. This month, December, we had 235 enrollments. That is incredible in December. And I know that December can be a tricky month in terms of getting people to commit because of the holidays and all the things that people have activity-wise with kids being out of school and everything. So really good job taking advantage of that, even though it was kind of a hairy month. I'm really excited that you guys were able to manage that. People are really ready this time of year to order or to up their orders or whatever. It's just a matter of us kind of as the builders taking charge of that. So last month, we had 2 people who had 14 enrollments. And I'll tell you, both of these people are participating in a group that we've organized called Silver Club. And that might be something that you want to think about. It seems to have really helped these two. These two were pushing towards silver. They both have achieved it at this point. They both had 14 enrollments last month. And that is an incredible number. And I'm really proud of them both. Stephanie hit silver in November, and then Robin hit it in December. So very exciting. Congratulations, Robin, about that. And then these 14 enrollments, and Stephanie again, 14 enrollments. And we had lots of people who had 3 enrollments and 2 enrollments, and even 1 enrollment makes a huge impact in somebody's life. So that's very exciting. But the people who had 4, we had Christy Murphy, Jenny Starnes, Barbara Carbaugh, Leela Duke. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Alicia Latour, Karen Painter, and Desiree Schaefer all had 4. Awesome work. And then Matthew Wagner had 5. So those are great numbers and very exciting. I'm always excited when I have 1 enrollment every month. So these numbers are crazy and really cool. Okay, so back to announcements. We have a lot of things coming up, a lot of opportunities for you all. And I hope that you'll take advantage of them and participate, and also share if you have any ideas on things that you need or trainings or anything that you feel like we might be missing. But as of right now, a lot of us are looking forward to leadership. If you aren't quite silver yet, you still have time to qualify this month. If you're pushing towards that, let us know. Let your upline know. Let us in Until Diamond know. We want to be able to cheer you on. That's one of the best parts of this business is we're all cheering each other on side by side. So let us know what your goals are. Elite Retreat is coming up in April. If you hit Elite before April, you will be able to attend. It will be happening in Valley Cruces, which is just outside of Boone. It's a beautiful location. It's where we had it last year too. We decided to stick with it because we were so comfortable there, and they have plenty of room for us to expand into a larger space. And the food was amazing. It was all very, very nice. And they really took care of us there. And that time was very, what's the word I'm looking for? Very motivational, inspirational. We just feed off each other when we get in groups. So I highly encourage you guys to put that on your calendar. And if you haven't hit Elite yet, you totally have time before April. It's going to be a good time of year to fill your cup that way. And be re-inspired by everybody else who's also building doTERRA. That's really, if we don't fellowship with other people building doTERRA on a regular basis, we really can start to feel depleted. So I hope that you'll all put that on your calendar. And again, let your upline know if you haven't hit Elite that you're striving to get there, and we'll all be rooting you on. Okay, monthly builders trainings are happening in Winston, I believe on the 2nd Tuesday. Did we determine? I'm sorry, we can't find for sure. Does anybody know? The Winston classes, instead of being continuing ed, are switching over to being team or builder trainings. So all people from all over the triad are going to be doing those. Chasey, do you remember? 2nd Tuesday? No? Okay. I feel like 2nd Tuesday isn't right because
3rd Tuesday.
What'd you say?
Third Tuesday.
Third Tuesday. Thank you, Kelly. Sorry, we couldn't find the meme in time, and I just couldn't recollect. Anyway, so third Tuesday in Winston at Miller Park Rec, we're going to be doing builder trainings. So that's open to anyone on Crystal's team, and that should be really good. Again, a good time to go fellowship, fill your cup. We do have a cleanse class coming up next week at HQ on Monday evening. Crystal, I think, is going to come teach that for us. If you haven't been to a cleanse class, it's a really great opportunity to get more familiar with our products. I did just do a mini class on this topic. It was 30 minutes long. It's on YouTube. You're welcome to access that and watch it. This class, though, will be much more in-depth. I really cut out probably more than 95% of the slides that we include in this in-person class. So if you can be at HQ, please do. Being familiar with these products, even if you don't intend to cleanse, is super important for your business because these products offer so much to so many people. So please try to be there if you can. I mentioned the YouTube channel. We are doing a mini class series. We're trying to keep it to 30 minutes and covering lots of different topics. Those are open to any of you. You're welcome to share those with people on your teams, and they're always on our Oil Dorks YouTube channel. So if you subscribe there, you'll be notified when all of these new ones come up. And if you, again, have a request for a class or something that you would like to see in there, then let us know. And if there's something that you would like to teach on, you feel like you're maybe an expert on something or had a lot of experience with something, I would love to potentially have you make a recording for us. So please talk to me about that as well. Okay. Now, specials for this month are huge. I'm going to pull up the screens. There's lots still going on. The We Miss You special is over, but we have loads more to take over. Trying to find the screen to share with you. Okay. And I cannot. Hang on one second. Okay. There's our Facebook group. Okay, so ring in the new year. Learn about how you can earn free product by sharing doTERRA from January 1st through February 28th. So this is a really good opportunity. We want to be enrolling people anyways, but this is just an extra push to kind of focus us, make those goals. How many am I going to sign up? Which of these oils do I want for free? And it is very cool this time. Normally it's just a jasmine and rose offer, but this time they've added Aspire from the 2014 convention and the One blend from the 2016 convention. These were oils that they gave out at the galas. Everyone who went to gala got these oils. So very cool. I haven't smelled Aspire. I didn't go to gala that year, and the One, fortunately, I could get this year, but only through knowing someone. Anyway, so how to earn. Sign up 4 new wellness advocates or wholesale customers January 1st through February 28th with 100 PV enrollment, and then have them process the 100 PV LRP order the following month of enrollment and receive a 10 milliliter of Aspire blend, which is really cool because they will also, in doing that, qualify for the New Year, New You special, which I will review in just a second, which is huge for them. Sign up 6 new wellness advocates or wholesale customers January 1st through February 28th with a 100 PV enrollment order and have them process 100 PV LRP, 6. So then 8 to get jasmine, 10 to get rose, and 20 or more and get all 4 of those. That's an insane amount of free oils. Particularly people who are new with doTERRA. You know, maybe you haven't enrolled that many people. Now is the time. Go ahead and get started. 20 seems like a really huge number, but you know, if you think about 10 per month and you break that down into, you know, say at one class you get 2 enrollments, that's 5 classes a month. That's not really insane. So go ahead and start making that happen. Unfortunately, reactivations do not count towards this promotion. No exceptions will be made, blah, blah, blah. I mean, there's all these fine lines that you need to read through. But other than that, it's pretty straightforward, and it's a really good opportunity for you to maximize that for yourself. And then flipping over to New Year, New You, maximize this for them. So if you haven't participated in New Year, New You before, it's a super special deal where when somebody enrolls with 100 PV, sets up an order for 100 PV next month, they will get 100 PV automatically. Now, what's really cool is if they're buying a kit that already comes with 100 PV, they double up. So the Natural Solutions kit, they're going to get 200 PV added to their account after that initial first order of 100. And, you know, when you compile that with also them getting free frankincense before the 15th, they do a 200 PV order, get free frankincense, then order next month 100, and then they get $200. I mean, the Natural Solutions kit can't be beat for that. But even with Home Essentials kit, they'd be getting 100 free plus that free frank. So that's really something to be promoting big time at for this next, I don't know, what are we down to? 12 days, 11 days. So anyway, just so you know, for you, how to schedule a New You event, you can go to this. I linked to this just from our back office. And I will tell you that there have been some glitches. It hasn't really worked yet for me to log in and make an event. So I'm not sure exactly what the process looks like. I don't think it's very complicated. Once you can log in here, you just create events. And what I would recommend is doing, we're going to do a bunch that you guys are welcome to use, and just we'll have them on our calendar. But until that is set up, you know, I don't know when that'll work itself out. Hopefully tomorrow when customer service is back to handle it. But you know, what we normally recommend is, you know, you set up a couple, or if you know you have classes already, make sure they're on this calendar. And then when these folks order their first 100 PV, they can go back to this link right here, doterramyoffice.com, New You, which I think they can access from their back office, and enter that ID number and password. And then once they've entered their code of 100 PV, they'll automatically get that added to their account. So this is much easier than it has been in years past. And hopefully you guys are able to take advantage of that, and you see that your customers are super excited about that, because it's a huge special offer for people. I mean, they really can get started with the Family Physician Kit, maybe the next month add LLV and a few other things to their order, and get a free 100. Very cool. Okay, so without further ado, I think that's all the announcements I needed to mention. I'm going to introduce Chasey. Most of you probably have heard Chasey's name before. She is one of our gold leaders. She has recently participated in a lot of really great trainings, and she also has been using the Laura Casey Powersheets, which have I just purchased the book. I have been using a very inexpensive planner. I'm sitting on it. Sorry. I was going to show you what I've been using, because goal planning right now is huge. We really want to focus on what our intentions are for this upcoming year. I bought this really cheap planner because it was cheap, and it fits in my purse, and it just has all the elements I need in my planner. I can make it pretty myself by adding stickers to it and, you know, doing little doodles and whatnot in here. But what I needed to do was also have this kind of goal way to focus and just kind of think about it. And so this is what I purchased. Chasey has already been using these, and she actually taught about these and about a way to make goals that actually work for you at Elite Retreat, Crystal's Elite Retreat in November. So I wanted her to come on the call tonight and actually share with us. She also, I think it would be a good idea, if you haven't already, grab a pen and some paper, so that she's going to give us some opportunities to actually write down some of these goals. And that process is huge. And I think it's a really cool thing to be able to just see and visualize and think differently about our goals in a way that doesn't, you know, bog us down. And I really feel like doing it this way helps you focus on what really matters. Actually, just a side note, Crystal and Lindsay Rapp recently put together a training. It's about an hour long, and it was based on a Michael Hyatt webinar, I guess, that they did for several days. I think it was like 5 days long. They condensed it to an hour long, and it's all about productivity and how well that worked. How it's smart to work, not harder necessarily, not more, but in a more focused way, and how working less sometimes can do more for your business than really working off a check sheet of things that you have to get done or whatever. So once again, this is my cute little, cheap little planner. It is made from sustainable source paper and in the United States. So I think that's pretty cool. But it's by Quo Vadis, in case you really are interested in that. Quo Vadis. Nothing fancy. Very businessy, but I really like so far its effectiveness. Okay, without further ado, Chasey, go ahead and share with us. Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Y'all, it's past my bedtime. This is like a really big miracle that I'm up this late. Anyway, so for those of you who were at Elite Retreat, a lot of you, I was kind of looking through to see who was on. A lot of you guys were at Elite Retreat, but hopefully the others that, may watch this later can benefit. So about a year ago, I was introduced randomly on Instagram by a friend who I value her opinion in things. She, she's not real like trendy. She's pretty like thoughtful about things. And so she posted a thing on Instagram about these things called Powersheets. And so I just started doing some research. Like I'm like, what are Powersheets? I need to know more about that. And found out what Powersheets are, and subsequently found out who Laura Chasey is. And if you're not familiar with her book, she has a great book called Make It Happen, which she has kind of used her Powersheet name with. But Powersheets are like the fleshed out tool for the book Make It Happen. So I think Make It Happen came first, and then she created the Powersheets. So if you're familiar with goal setting, some of this is not going to be new to you, but some of it was really good for me to help me set goals, because I can be quite the visionary. I can create a vision in my mind, but sometimes getting the like action steps were a little bit challenging for me, and keeping focused in, I've got this big picture, but how do I like flesh that out every day? And so this has been an awesome tool. So let me put a disclaimer out there. Powersheets are sold out. I actually talked to Laura today. They're sold out.
Oh, no.
They're sold out till spring, but she assured me, because if you buy them, you get to be in a Facebook group. I'm not BFFs with Laura Chasey or anything, but we're in a Facebook group, and she posted that they were sold out. But she is doing a goal-setting seminar on her blog, and I'll post that link in the recording of this, but it's Laura, I think it's Laura, Lara, not the other way, Lara, Chasey.com. She's giving away some sets, but she did say that there's a lot of free printable resources there too, because they are a little bit expensive. I think they were about $45 to $55, but I felt like it was a great tool. So apparently I picked a different cover than Lacey. The hot pink one didn't match.
That wasn't available at the time, and there was a green one, and I didn't want to clash that green with this green. I thought we needed to coordinate. So.
Yeah, I ordered mine. I've had mine. So this is my second year using them. I will say there's two options, a year version and a 6-month version. I got the 6-month year version. I love the year version because it's a spiral bound. The other one I had to put in a binder, and that kind of drove me a little cuckoo. Huh?
I got 6 months. This one.
Oh, so that might be new this year. Mine, I had to put in a binder, and
I love this too.
Drove me crazy.
Yeah.
So when you buy these, and when you set out with goals in general, you're going to start out with this big vision of where you want your life to go. So in my mind, I kind of think about, and so this was a fear of mine, is like, I don't want to look back on my life when I'm 85 and be like, dang, I could have done X, Y, and Z, but I didn't. So if you look at your life, if you think about it backwards, if I look at my life at 85, what is going to matter then? Getting a new house is not on my goal list, but like having a bigger house, is that going to really matter when I'm 85? And so I'm going to kind of share some of my goals with you guys, so you can kind of think about. But it's a pretty long process, and that's what I love about this. And it was easier this year because I've done it last year now. But the whole when you open it up, she tells you to kind of do it over a couple week period, so that you don't like just throw some stuff out there. It's a lot of soul searching and some questions that you ask yourself, but it says, 2017, and I know you guys can't see this, great, but what are your big ideas for 2017? And so some of mine were to simplify our home, to find a rhythm with our homeschool, hit a new rank with doTERRA. I don't know what that rank is yet, but it's just going to be a new one. It's going to be a different one. To love my husband and family well, to grow in my faith, have tea time with the kids. I mean, I just spewed stuff that I would want, if time and money were not an issue, what would those things be? Okay. So then you've got this big picture, and it starts helping you narrow it down to, all right, what's obtainable? Because it's really easy to say, I want to travel this year. Well, if you don't have any money in your budget to travel this year, that's like a pipe dream, so what is actually obtainable this year? And you start going from there. So the next page and it's just always funny to answer these questions about getting to know you. What words describe yourself? What is your personal space like? What encourages you? What things do you love to do? And it just kind of makes you brainstorm. I think it's more about just kind of getting the ideas flowing than yourself already. But I think it just really helps you kind of get it out there. What are some of the things?
Say something really quick.
Yeah.
When I was doing that part, I was thinking, and this is weird, why is it telling me to do it? But as I was doing it, I was kind of like, oh yeah, that's me. That's who I am. And I think that a lot of times we don't know what necessarily our strengths are. And we're trying to, in this business, trying to do something the way somebody else told us to, or the way somebody else does.
Yeah.
And I think that if we can figure out, what makes us tick, what is our thing, and not just in doTERRA, but in our lives in general. Which, quick plug for the Strengths Finder thing coming up in January. You should really, that's the 21st, I guess, really look into that too. But anyway, sorry, go ahead.
No, it's totally fine. Yeah. And so honestly, we have 8 categories of our goals right now. And doTERRA is just one category of that. So it's not just about your business. It's about, really her whole thing is cultivate what matters. What matters in your life? And when you're 85, what is truly going to matter? So then it takes you through this process of letting things go. Moving forward requires letting go of some things first. Let it all go here. And so this page says, how do I feel? How do I feel about 2016? And what do I need to let go of to move forward? And I just, have found from last year and this year, some themes and some consistent words coming up that help me identify, where some gaps are that I can kind of fill in, because, there's lots of gaps. Meet your fears is the next section. It says, fears can hold us back from making what happens matters. Write your honest fears here. And it just says, what are you afraid of? What is it? And then, and why are you afraid of it? And so then it takes you to this awesome place of, if I step into these fears and take action in my life would be blank. And so it just really is it's all about you're still in this big picture, and you're just compressing it till you get some goals. She takes you through doing a vision board. Mine is behind me. I didn't put it in my book because I had already done it not too long ago. If you can envision your most fulfilling year yet, what would it look like? Why would you want to live on purpose? And where do you want to be when you're 80? So that's really cool. And then you start thinking about, so in reflection of 2016, and this is something from my former career, we used to focus on what's working and what's not working. So what worked last year, in your business, in your home, in your marriage, in your parenting, in whatever, most of us are moms. A lot of us are homeschooling moms. We have all these facets in our life that, so what worked last year? Because it's really easy, and it definitely with my personality, it's really easy to see, what didn't work, when I was working through this, and you and I have talked about this, Diamond Club last year, I kept saying it was a failure, but it really was a tremendous success. It didn't look like success to what Chasey wanted it, but it really was a success. So what worked, and then what were your challenges? What didn't work last year? What didn't work to help you live on purpose in the last 12 months? What needs improvement? And I think you have to be honest here, like, one of the things I need to do a lot better is follow up, like that didn't work. My system was not working. Don't dwell too much on the list though, but here's the thing, like, don't dwell on it. We can dwell on it and harp on it, but like, let's just jot it down, be realistic about what didn't work, and what did work. So on your paper that you guys, hopefully you got notes, maybe we don't have time for you to fill this out, but I would say, this is something that you need to make a note of, what worked last year and what didn't work last year. So if you guys want to write that down, and then move on. And it says the next part is in the wait, what remains confusing? Like, to me, what remains confusing is like hitting the next rank. Like, how in the crap do you do that, what lessons have you learned from that? And so I'm not going to go into all that, but what lessons can you learn from what did not work last year? So what can you now flip into being successful? Here's another thing I want you guys to write down. What do you need to say no to this year? So if you want to just make your little, category that you can make a list. What do you need to say no to? For me, it's enabling people. I love to enable people. And what am I saying yes to? For me this year, saying yes to is in business is just finding the joy in it, sharing from a place of happiness and of the oils, and not from such a business-minded place. So what are you saying no to, and what are you going to say yes to? Read over all the things that you've written so far. What are you going to need to say yes to more often so that you can live on purpose more? And then I love this. This was a awesome thing for me. I actually have it from last year still on my board, but what fires me up? Like, so if you want to think about it in doTERRA world, what about doTERRA fires you up? Because there's lots of things, a lot of us did not get into this for the purpose of, being in network marketing. Most of us would say, we said we would never be in network marketing. So the parts of that, that we don't love, the parts of doTERRA that we don't love, that's really easy to get focused on. But what fires you up? Like, what lights a fire in your soul? Like, for me, it's, seeing a mom who hadn't slept in months, get relief, or a baby who is spitting up all the time. My realm of people seem to be moms. So what fires me up? What fires me up is being around women who are passionate, about helping others. That's big in our community. Success fires me up. Seeing my team succeed. We had some big rank advancements recently that, fires me up. So I want you to make a list. What fires you up about doTERRA? So that you can focus on that. And we all know about our why. It's another thing that it talks about, your why. Let's see. It also takes you through my most purposeful year yet. So it helps you to kind of, now we have really kind of walked through the big picture. It says flip through everything you've written so far and then fill this out. And it helps you, it just says, the things that fire me up. I believe in X. I am letting go of. My word of the year is, I'm saying I will live this by saying yes to blank, no to the, and so now we're ready to start our goals. So this is where I loved it, because like I said, I'm very goal oriented. I always have been. I've been like, I will say I'm going to do something and I can do it. And so doTERRA has been a little bit of a challenge to me because it requires community. And so it's just kind of the first time that, I couldn't fire people. Like when I owned a salon, if the receptionist didn't work out, she wasn't my receptionist till Jesus came back. Like, I could fire her and we moved on, But if it's a frontline leader or, whatever, you kind of got to figure this out. So it's been a little bit of a challenge. So the next step that it has takes you through is 10 goals, okay? For me, I didn't fill out, oh yeah, I guess I did fill out 10. I was thinking I didn't. But I started thinking about areas of my life, like the facets of my life that are important to me. So they were kind of easy to make a goal for. Like, first of all, my first goal was to cultivate my faith. Well, that's a huge part of my life. So obviously I want to have a goal associated with that. Number 2 was to grow my business. And then we're going to talk about important action steps here. Strengthen my marriage, breathe life into our homeschool, capture my children's heart, work on my fitness, establish order in our house, make time to be creative, boss my money around. I like that word better than budget. I don't know.
What did you say? Boss your money around?
Budget, that word gives me hives. I just do not like it. So I put boss my money around, and cultivate meaningful relationships. So now that I kind of have an idea of where I want to go, we're going to make action steps. So I'm going to find my business ones. So my goal, and Lacey and I have talked about this, rank has drove me quite batty trying to like chase after rank. So I decided not to put a specific rank on there at this point. I just put grow my business, because if I grow my business, rank hopefully is going to follow, right? So here, what are our starting action steps? What are small, specific, realistic, physical ideas for taking action on this goal? You can add these to your tending list. And this is the magic of Powersheets, is the tending list. So we're going to get to that in just a minute. If we go back to the Edge Success, guys, we talk about the 4 parts of business: find, teach, enroll, duplicate, right? Those are the 4 components of our business. So those are obviously the income generating things in our business, because I can get really bogged down in the busy work of like running a Facebook group, texting my leaders, but they don't always, correspond with income. So I try to focus on income producing things. So one of my action steps is teach 1 class a week. Maybe yours isn't 1 class a week. Maybe I've got people on my team who are like, I'll teach 3 classes a week. They're, they may not have kids. They may have specific financial, things that they're trying to overcome, that they're willing to, for right now, teach more classes. But for our season in our life, 1 class a week seems like a pretty doable thing. My next action step would be to mentor my builders, because that falls in the duplications section of find, teach, enroll, build, or duplicate. So if I'm mentoring my builders, my third action step is I need to follow up better. So I want to create a plan to follow up. And I've had lots of plans this year that, a plan, what do they say about that? I don't know what it is, but it didn't work. And we're going to get that in a minute. But so then here's the realistic thing. And this is something, because I can get so goal oriented. And I love this. This is one thing that Laura stresses over, is progress, not perfection. I can be somewhat of a perfectionist when it goes like a checklist. I love a checklist. Like, I'm the person who writes that I need to unload the dishwasher because it already got done, so I can check it off my list. But progress is not perfection. So I've got to not get caught up in perfection. So instead of saying I'm going to contact 1 new person a day, because that will make me batty, I just put that I'm going to make 2 new contacts a week. But at this stage in my business, still 2 new contacts a week would be amazing, because, I've enrolled a lot of people in my life. So 2 new ones a week would be good. I want to cultivate new leaders, like not just the leaders that I currently see. I want to cultivate new leaders that maybe don't know that they're going to be a leader yet, or we haven't even met yet. And then the other component would be, one of my action steps is really to brand, like you guys have with Schoolhouse Oils. The Oily Life Mama is kind of my thing, and I want to do, a little more brand specific stuff. So those are my starting action steps. Okay. So then I asked you a couple questions. So I just kind of showed you what this looks like in a while, but there's some little questions off to the side of every specific goal. Every goal has a page. So what would be the positive result taking action on this goal may have on my life and others. It will help my leaders succeed, and at the end of the day, I'll succeed. So then I love this part, because there's going to be a crappy day, right? Lots of them come frequently, that you need to like have somebody who keeps you like forward focused, that mentors you. So I have a list of people, Lacey, my coach that I've hired, Raquel, some other friends in here. But I also think it's important, we have sidelines that we can reach out to that give us some good advice. So who are the people you can ask for guidance? And then this is another good one for me. What progress on this goal will look like, okay? Because like I said, when I think about Diamond Club, I really had labeled it as a failure, but it really was very successful. So what will progress look like to me? Rank advancements, new leader. One of my other big things that, since I filled this out, that I kind of want to shoot for is solidifying my $1,500 power of 3. That's an easy, tangible, like, benchmark, and that doesn't necessarily, for me, because rank, when I don't make rank, gets me so jacked up in the mind that, 1,500, I think is a little bit better for me to go after. How will I celebrate this goal when I complete it? I think I'm going to have a party. Because Lacey thinks we should entertain people more.
I feel like I'm being accused of something.
Oh man, I have to invite somebody over and have a
party. A good idea.
But here's another thing: is I realized, my ranks in the beginning, I barely remember elite. Premier came so fast. Silver wasn't far after that, and then we hit gold. We never celebrated those things, honestly, and that is my tendency. And my husband had this kind of conversation with me when we were looking at buying a house. He was like, I'm afraid it's never going to be enough. I'm always on to the next thing. So I need to stop and celebrate, when I do actually hit these things. So we're going to have a party. Mm-hmm. So I want you to think about now how you can label your goal for your business, because we're talking about business. How can you label your goal for your business? What does that look like? And why does that matter? So that's the other thing, is what is your goal and what is the why? Honestly, I didn't fill that out for my business. I just haven't quite, I don't have it there, but some of my other ones, like I said, I put funny names with some of them, instead of, workout, I put working on my fitness. Why is that important? Because when I'm working out, I have more energy. I feel better. If my goal is to establish order in our house, why is that important? Because everything flows from that. Breathe life into our homeschool. Why is that important? Because if it's not fun, why do it? So what is your why of this goal? And it may not even just be your why of doTERRA, but why this specific goal? And then I want you to think about 3 action steps. This makes you think of 6, but let's just keep it simple. 3 action steps that are measurable, you'll be able to tell, and we're going to get into that in just a second. You'll be able to tell whether you're doing those or not. Are they specific? And are they realistic? For me, and I shared that, it's not, for me, I felt like it wasn't realistic at this season to say I'm going to make 1 new contact a day, because I'm a homeschool mom. I kind of stay home a lot. I've kind of reached out to the people via Facebook that I, feel comfortable with that. I'm not going to be a stalker. So for me, I felt like 2 new contacts a week was good. So it was realistic. So I want you to think about your 3 steps. What positive impact will it make on your life if you achieve these? Who are the people you can reach out to when you need help, when you're stuck? And what will progress look like when you hit this? And how will you celebrate the goal? All right, so here is the magic of Powersheets 2. So we've kind of taken these big visions. We have whittled them down now. I have got, I want to grow my business. I've created 6 action steps. Okay, well, that's cool to create that, but how are you going to keep up with that? So Laura has this thing. Each month has a section, and you prepare, she encourages you to do it maybe the 3rd week of the month for the next month. what it has a sheet that says what's ahead, what's on your calendar, what's important for you to do this month. You know, like let's say it's January already. If I start working on for February, where it's going to be important for me, leadership retreats coming up, it's going to be important for me to prepare my business to kind of walk away for, you know, not walk away totally, but to prepare for that, prepare my customers for that. It'll be the last day of the month. Who thought of that?
I know.
It
had occurred to me too. Oh, what a mess. It'll be fine.
Yeah, we'll all be scrambling at the last minute.
And the account managers will be there.
Yeah, we'll just do it together.
That's right.
And then I'm going to Disney World. I've somehow tried to fit 2 trips to Disney in this one little week that we're going to be in Orlando. But anyway, so what's important to do? What are you excited for? But then here's the cool thing. Is what she calls attending list. Okay, so it looks like this. So we have now had our goals. So what, if we break those goals down, what is important that we do monthly for this goal? So looking at ours, like my monthly goals based on the 10 goals that we set would be, and I'm just giving you guys a broad perspective, a date night with Matt, a family day, or take the kids on an individual date, set a budget, enroll somebody, spend time with my leaders, and then meet with a mentor. So going back just for my business, spending time with a leader, which would be the cultivating and mentoring relationships. I think that needs to be done kind of on a monthly basis broadly. And then meet with my mentor, whether that be like my spiritual mentor or my business mentor. My weekly goals would be to teach one class. Some of the other ones are Fun-Filled Friday, to time block my schedule. So that's a doTERRA thing, to time block my business hours. And then to make my mentor calls with the people that I am mentoring. And then in theory, I would call Lacey on Wednesday at 12 o'clock.
We somehow fit it in. It doesn't seem like
it never is when it's supposed to be, but it does happen.
Yes.
So then it helps you to establish what is important that you do for this goal daily. And some of my goals, I don't need to address daily. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't think of really any of my goals that I don't need to have some of something daily. But
some of them I think are just like having them written down on your paper helps you commit to things that move you towards that instead of away from that. So,
right. For instance, so one of my goals, and this is one thing, and I noticed that it really has put a check in my spirit because I am a list checker offer. One of my goals, so Matt is so sweet. He brings me coffee every single morning. I know, right? And he's just really good about doing little things like that. Well, I am not. I'm not, but he's really good to do certain things. So one of my things on my list is I need to figure out a better name for it, but it says serve Matt. And I feel like that could be so misleading. But I want to find one thing a day,
Side note, the intimacy class is already set for February.
I'm not teaching it. I'm red thinking about it. That's not what I mean. I just mean I want to find something kind to do for him every day. And I've noticed the last few days that I didn't have my box checked. So I found something to do. You know what I'm saying?
That's enough said. Do not.
It was not like that. No, but I cleaned up after dinner because normally he does that, so I tried to do it for him. But just having it on my list, made me a little more accountable. That's where I was going with that. But anyway, so my daily goals would be for me, to read my Bible, to work out, to do a load of laundry, to serve Matt, get our school done, to stick to my business hours, and then to read to myself and the kids. But that keeps me, okay, so if I'm holding to my business hours, if I'm committed to those, and I'm trying, honestly, at this point, just to do 1 hour, because it's becoming less and less the busy work that I need to do, which is nice. And that's not teaching classes and things like that. That's just holding the fort down. But so think about your goal. Now that you've had it, if it's a budget, Like what do you need to do for your goal monthly? Well, you need to set a budget. What do you need to do weekly? Is that, balance your checkbook? Is that to pay your bills? I don't do any of those. That's what my wonderful husband is for. But then what do you need to do daily? For me, if I'm trying to keep a budget, I need to not be on Amazon every day. He told me the other day, he said, they don't have to deliver something every day.
I know, but you just feel so empty inside.
I know. If the UPS man drives by.
Do you know now they'll take packages back to Goodwill for you?
Oh, I did hear that.
Yeah, cool news. Anyway, totally off topic.
But so that was an instance with budget. I mean, for your task, but with your business, if you look at it, what do I need to do monthly? For me, that would be spending time with my leaders and enrolling someone. Weekly, I need to teach a class. I need to mentor my people. Daily, I need to stick to my business hours, and that would include trying to start branding my business. And then read, because I feel like that is part of my, self-development. So here's the cool thing, though. If you do this, and then there's a little checklist, it's easy. If you don't check it off, it's easy to see where you need to work. Like when I said that the other night, I realized that was my one box that wasn't checked off. Mm-hmm. And so I was like, note to self, but if you start seeing, all right, it's been 3 days since I worked out. Clearly, I need to put a little more emphasis on working out. Or it's been 4 days since I did laundry, and we have Mount Laundry more, like it helps you. Or if at the end of the week, can I check off any of my weekly goals? Well, then I need to reevaluate. Was it realistic? Was it, do I still think it's important to do? And then every month you do the same thing, but you're going to redefine them, especially like I could think of, with doTERRA, if you had if you're going into December and you that that's a great month, you might adjust it. Oh, I want to do 5 classes this month versus 1 a week or whatever. But I just think it gives you some tangible, concrete, ways. Can you do this without the Powersheets? Absolutely.
Yeah, I'll say one thing when you're reviewing this check sheet. I think what it really does, just in general, is think about what you're going to commit to. Because if you don't think about that, if you don't outline what your job with doTERRA looks like, or with your life in general, you're going to just be torn away by something else. So if you're thinking about your career, you go to work every day and your boss tells you what you need to do. With doTERRA, it's not like that. We might give you a list of things that you need to do, but honestly, you have to shape your own career.
Right.
And we can tell you what works and what's worked for us, but it's not going to work for you unless it works for you. So coming up with this commitment list is like outlining what your career is going to look like. So I really
be realistic about it, because you and I have talked about this, that, we have similar personalities where we've tried to do things like others.
Right.
It didn't feel authentic and it didn't feel duplicatable for us. Mm-hmm. So it's got to be something that you're going to stick with, and that it feels, natural for you, but yet it's got to push you in the same.
Right. Like I think that, you should be reasonable, put classes on there, even if you don't like teaching classes. And If you haven't done classes, then that's what you really need. Because there are some elements of the business that are required, being in front of people is one of those. And if you want to do, 4 classes or whatever, you have to do 15 one-on-ones. And if that's how you want to build, then that's fine. But you have to be realistic in both capacities. But yeah.
I think it just helped for me, though, really, like we said, with having so many areas in my life that I am committed to, as a homeschooler, as a mom, as a wife, things that I really hold dear. It really helped me, establish what's important, because I can be an all or nothing person. So if I decide what's absolutely important that has to get done, then I'm going to stick to those things, because I like to check off my boxes.
And it helps everything fit together. It should all go together. And really your life and your business shouldn't be separate, two separate compartments.
Right. Because if I look at this, and I just big picture for me, I know if I don't get up in the morning and read my Bible, my day spins out of control. And I know if our homeschool is not running and flowing right, then I don't have time for my business hours. And if my house isn't in order, and I'm not saying it's spotless, I'm just saying like some order and some flow. I put off doing doTERRA because of my laundry situation. And if, I'm not managing my money well, then, I'm stressed and I'm putting heat on people to enroll, and then they don't want to enroll, so it's all related.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yeah. Well, that was a great overview. Are you done? Because maybe we can take some questions.
Sure.
Okay. Does anybody have any questions about goal setting or about specifically Powersheets or anything like that? Maybe some suggestions. You can raise your hand in here. You can put it in the chat, or you can unmute yourself to say something. Did somebody just unmute? Yeah, no? Well, while we're waiting to see if any questions come in, I did post in Until Diamond some goals, both the broader goals, and this was before I had the book, so it's not quite the same, but it's in the similar realm. If you're not going to get the book because it's sold out, then that's totally okay. I think that it's kind of in the same mindset, though, of setting goals for your personal life and your business sort of in general, like generically. What is important to you, ultimately? And then the second one, there's 2 separate posts, is about commitments. What are you actually going to commit to? So it's really kind of the same thing. In fact, they probably somehow Facebook read my posts and then advertised me the Laura Chasey thing, and then I bought it. So anyway, so if you participate in that, we are doing a raffle, and I would love to see what you are all thinking about for this upcoming year and what your big goals are. A few of you have already filled that out, and I love reading through those. It helps me feel more connected to you, but I think it also helps us feel more connected to ourselves to just write it down and get it out there. So
since the Powersheets are sold out, though, if you buy the book, Laura Chasey wrote, and she's actually going to come out with another one, but Make It Happen. She wrote that before the Powersheets. It's the book version. It was really good. I listened to it on Audible, and I love anything that, well, not anything, but most things. She actually, read it herself, and I love her voice. But
yeah,
it was an awesome book. So if you don't have the Powersheets, you could totally do the same thing with Make It Happen. And it's just a really encouraging book. It's a pretty easy, light read.
Cool. I like it. All right. Anybody? Okay. Well, then I think that's a wrap. Thank you all for coming and being on the call. We'll be here again next month on the first Wednesday, which I guess will be February. Sorry. Don't want to skip a month. Go ahead, get your classes booked, do those things that, you love and that bring success in all aspects of your life. And we'll see you soon. All right. Thanks. Good night. Thanks, Chasey.
Bye. You're welcome.